Yo, what up, everybody? It's your boy Tommy Boy over here, all the way out of Finland. Coffee with tea, live today with my incredibly good and old friend, Thomas Larsen, founder of EatCo2.com. Is it .com?
Yeah, .com or .dk. How you doing,
Yes.
Tommy?
What's up, man? Good to be in touch with you again.
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me.
You're welcome, brother. It's really an honor to have you on this call today. We go back a long time, and I know that you've been entrepreneur minded ever since I've known you. Always thinking outside of the box, trying to help communities, trying to help people, including your friends. And I just want to say that up front that you're one of the most awesome people that I've met along the way of the last 41 years. So applause.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, man.
Um, Thanks. Well, again, thank you very much for having me, Tommy. It's always a pleasure. You know that. Again, my name is Thomas Larsen. To the people that don't know me, I'm the founder of Eat CO2 Copenhagen, Denmark. We are a startup in rapid growth. We are trying to tackle one of the most important issues of our time, which is climate change. So this is a subject that we have to take serious, and Eat CO2 is our take on how we reach our goal. Our mission is to support the European farm to fork strategy, which is all about changing the way we Europeans look at food sustainability. And by doing so, we are hoping to become a contributing force in positioning Europe as the world's first climate positive continent by 2050. So this is where we stand, and this is what we are trying to aim for.
Yeah. What does that mean with regards of like sustainability?
Right. Okay. Well, we all know that the majority of human activities these days has a carbon footprint. And a carbon footprint is the measure of how damaging to the environment the consumption of, say, a certain food product is. You see, when you produce a food product, or you transport it, or you store it, or you prepare it for that sake, the energy which is used that originates from burning of fossil fuels is then released into the air as a greenhouse gas called CO2, and that is one of the main contributing elements to global warming, which we hear so much about at the moment. And this is due to two main things: the industrial revolution combined with overconsumption, which is really a nasty cocktail. And that's why we have to act now, before climate change becomes irreversible. So this is not a doom and gloom speech. This is just facts, and it's important that we lay the foundation based on that. So what we found to be the most challenging part of this is changing the mindset of consumers. When we live in a consumer-based, call it matrix, where the latest gadget, phone, computer, watch, or whatever drives our behavior. So we can, of course, buy less and eat less animal protein and so on. And we have to control our consumer behavior, of course. But in order to make a lasting change, we have to start thinking outside the box, and we have to start coming up with sustainable technologies and solutions that can be implemented fast, because time is just not on our side here. So that is what we aim to do. Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah. So what would be an introduction to ETO2?
Um, well, as you know, and as I've said, EatCo2, we're working towards creating a more sustainable food sector. We can, by looking at the carbon footprint of a given product, embed a nature-based micro countermeasure, if you will, as an answer to the CO2 that's being emitted during cultivation, production, transportation, storage, or even preparation of a given food product. And we do so by planting trees.
Okay.
Because trees are simply, I mean, we hear about that as well in the news, etc. Trees have an amazing ability to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, and they store it in its trunk and soil, and turns it into O2, oxygen, as in breathable air, and we call that a win-win situation. So we here have a solution where we can implement this fast as a carbon surcharge to various food products or other consumer-based products, other industries as well, if we want to. Um, on a micro level, that's not going to be felt by the consumer because the amounts are so small. But the usage of this surcharge is extremely important because it will go to replanting the planet as a countermeasure to this inevitable CO2 emissions that gets released. Because we might as well face facts. I mean, we have to start reducing our animal protein consumption, but it's not going to happen overnight. And we will always have steaks at the table at least once in a while. So we work with what we call luxury CO2, the CO2 emissions that cannot be removed on a person's, say, personal carbon footprint. Yeah, so this is it's just an important factor, that we start taking charge, and we stop just talking about it, but start taking action. And this is what we bring to the table. We try to avoid a lot of bureaucracy, a lot of red tape, which often happens on a governmental level when decisions like this are being taken. So we try to work directly with farmers, with food producers, etc. Try to paint a bigger and broader picture of how this can be done and implemented fast, easy, and cheap, taking us from A to B as effectively as possible, which is what's needed.
Okay, and you were saying about absorption from the plants, trees, etc. Is
Mhm.
there and you were talking about the planting as well. Is there a specific plant or tree that you're favoring or that you're planting at the moment?
We plant a plethora of different types of trees through our planting partner. It really depends on the individual need of the farmer. You see, we work with farmers in South and Central America, in planting these trees. We could, of course, plant here in Denmark, where I'm sitting right now in Copenhagen, where I'm from. But because of the European colder climate, trees just grow a lot slower here, which means that the photosynthesis works slower and thereby absorbs less carbon from the atmosphere than trees growing in a warmer climate, and that makes it quite difficult financially to run a business based on European carbon credits.
Hmm.
So our take on this is, because CO2 is global, so it doesn't really matter where it's being counteracted or absorbed. We work with smallholder farmers in South and Central America, um, and by our planting partners, we help them better understand their soil. We help introducing new and better farming techniques, and amongst other things, we show them um, the importance of planting trees and how planting trees can preserve soil fertility, and at the same time increase farmers' yield over time. Because there's so many rural smallholder farmers on a global basis. I believe we are talking around 500 million of them at the moment, that work with underutilized land due to the lack of cultivation know-how. So often up to 50% of an average smallholder farmer's land lays unused, which is an enormous problem, especially considering that these are some of the most the poorest people in the world living for under $2 a day. Um, so we found
Mm.
that tackling the problem at the foundation is really important. We can't just put roof on the house without putting solid foundation and walls up to make sure that we have a steady situation going here. So that's why we found working with the source of the problem or the challenge, if you will, is crucial to success in what we're doing here. And on top of that, so many places in South and Central America are some of the most exposed to climate change, where droughts and flooding can be devastating for the farmer's income. And we just spoke about how little they live on a day, you know. So this is where trees can create an excellent leverage against the traditional farming season, because trees, they grow all year round in warm climates. So we found that this way of involving the farmer becomes extremely valuable to our Northern European success, because without the farmer, we have nothing, and that's also why um, the farmers, they get paid based on how much the trees grow, so that they have a vested interest in taking care of the plantations or the natural fencing that we built for them on their land, because the better trees grow, the more CO2 they absorb, and the more money the farmer will ultimately make. And and that's why the effect of our work has been proven to increase farmer revenues by up to 20%, which is a phenomenal success, I think, you know. And this is something that can really be felt in these poor countries. So in that way, by increasing the farmers' revenue, we enable better access to doctors, better education, better access to nutritional food and technologies that we Westerners take for granted. So yeah, we feel like we have a really good circle going here, and we feel that by creating this ecosystem, if you will, around the trees that we plant, not only do we touch upon local biodiversity, which is extremely important, we also talk about the building a solid farming foundation based on new farming techniques. But as importantly, the ripple effects in this is creating a social environment for the farmers that is better, much better than that they've been used to previously, and that's just super important for us, you know.
That's an incredible impact already that you've made.
Well,
For anyone,
we try, you know.
no, go on, go on, go on.
No, we try. We are, as I said, we are a startup in full growth. You know, we are finding a huge amount of traction. The continuous buzzword is sustainability, sustainability, sustainability. When we talk about the food sector, but we have to start taking some hasty steps towards finding a solution that actually works and can be implemented at a rapid pace and that has immediate results. So when we go out and plant new trees that weren't there yesterday, that is exactly what we achieve with this. It's very important for us that we don't just purchase antiquated carbon credits laying on a shelf somewhere, produced years back. No, we produce new ecosystems together with these farmers we work with, hence creating a new positive impact on the planet that weren't there before, and that is absolutely crucial to our mission and our continuous success.
For anyone that is watching us live on Facebook and on YouTube, feel free to add some questions to your to the comments. and I will pass them on. If not now, live, I'll do it post the lives.
Hmm.
If you are listening to this on the podcast, then please do not hesitate to reach out to us directly. Actually, look, what's up, everybody? Live on Facebook. What's up, live on YouTube? Welcome. Quite a lot of people already on. I've got a question. A
Hmm.
question just came in from Brenda De Leo, my cousin. What's up, Brenda? Nice to see you. How do you protect the trees you plant? Do farmers sign an agreement?
Yeah, that's a great question. The
Mhm.
farmers sign what we call a PES agreement. That is a payment for ecosystem services. So
Mm.
the farmers will go through a various workshops that where they get educated in fire prevention, natural pesticide uh, or yeah, natural pesticide prevention, and various other things that will protect the trees, or gear the farmer in a direction where he is more educated in the importance of the trees and how to protect them. So this is obviously a very important part of what we do. However, there is a certain leakage, if you will, calculated into the bigger picture, because we are dealing with people here. It's very important that this is not an intrusive force to the local communities, but we work together with them and start tailoring solutions that works in conjunction with their existing land. So we will look on the farmer's needs before anything else, ensuring that he or she or they are happy with the way we are introducing these new this new planting leverage, if you will. So yes, the question, the answer, very much so. Do we work with the farmers both before, during, and after planting seasons? And the farmers are with us from day one and make money from day one, from the gathering of seeds to planting the seeds into nurseries, and eventually transferring the seedlings to the farmer's land. And that's why, we feel that this is the best way possible
Mm.
to work with farmers. The only way we can do so, having a soft and smooth recruiting process, enabling workshops on location, showing the farmers how it makes better sense to plant trees than cutting them down. So yeah, I hope that answered the question.
Yep, it did, and more so.
I know I'm a bit of a nerd when it comes to these things, so I
Hey,
go
that's
overboard a little bit sometimes, but bear
no,
with
no,
me.
it's perfect. No, it's perfect, man. Thank you so much for explaining, man. You're the guest. You're the guest.
No problem.
Um, oh, by the way, for anyone that is wondering why his picture is not on, the internet was breaking up a little bit, and it seemed to have gone better without the video on. So thank you for bearing with me on that end. One more question. I've got a lot of topics actually, but we only have so much time today.
Mhm.
Do you have the ambition to go global? And then my addition would be to that at the moment. You are now working on the north of Europe, right?
Yes, I mean, we are a company working out of Copenhagen in Denmark. We are trying to secure our key market to start off with. We have a lot of traction in Denmark and already across borders as well. Quite a bit of traction in Sweden, Norway. We hope to go to Finland as well, and then Germany eventually also. But this is such a huge subject that we have to take it, step by step. Ideally, this gets branded throughout across the planet, and it's something we can implement as an automatic add-on to various products in time. So call it the super early days of a carbon surcharge, which automatically gets embedded to various consumer products, and that gets used, the right way, so to say. So yeah, that's definitely what we aim to do in time.
So the aim is to go global with this.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely, most definitely.
Hmm. Hmm. I wonder how that would work in the south of America then, if you're like say, Nicaragua, right? Uh,
Mhm.
did I see that you guys are in Nicaragua? Did I see that right?
Yeah, and we work out of Nicaragua and also Mexico, and we have other projects we're working on at the moment that are being introduced throughout the year. But I rather keep them on the down low at the moment until we launch. So, but very exciting stuff.
Yeah, huge, man.
Mm, yeah,
I'm so proud of you, man. I'm so proud of you.
thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it's true.
Appreciate it.
You just happen to be my friend from a long time ago. Now you're kicking butt, with this.
Mm.
Compensation methods. Did we cover that already?
Is that a question we have, or?
Yeah, no. Just something that I was thinking about.
Yeah, well, as I said, we work with we call it micro compensation or fractional CO2. We CO2 normally gets handled in tons. So we will go in and we'll break down a ton of CO2 into grams and milligrams and kilos, which makes it a lot easier to embed it into a bush of broccoli or into a bag of tomatoes or a single steak or even a combined meal of a steak, broccoli, potatoes, and some sauce at a restaurant. There's so many possibilities on a micro level.
Ah,
And that's the way we do this, and that's how we are able to.
yeah.
Um, but but yeah, just super exciting stuff. But it starts with a sort of call it a global level of education, consumer based education. I mean, we already know that 2/3 out of consumers chooses to shop sustainably, either actively or passively. Like, it might be that we go for a product that's wrapped in less plastic, a local sourced products, or various other things. But the buzzword is sustainability, and we all want it. The majority just don't want really to work for it. And that's how we introduce this in an easy, transparent, and fast and cheap way, that brings sustainability to the masses. But we need the masses to have a voice. We need consumers to have a voice. It's time to start taking those steps in that direction, because companies will adjust themselves based on the market. That's just how it is. The consumer controls the way things go, and the companies will adjust accordingly. So it's you and me, Tommy, that have to make the choice. But we can't do it alone. We have to just to spread the word. So that's why I also hope that, for everybody who's listening out there, to help us spread the word. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever you can. Like us, give us a thumbs up, do whatever, to bring the good message out across the board. The more the merrier. The more we can get on board with this, the better. And we're launching some very, very interesting initiatives as an add-on to what we're already doing throughout 2022, which is also going to be groundbreaking. So keep an eye out, and I might even do a follow-up with Tommy at some point, in 6 months' time or later on this year. What do you say, Tommy?
Oh yeah, you don't even have an option.
All right, deal, deal.
Tomorrow.
Let's give it some time. Let's give it some time.
Okay, after the weekend. Brenda has another question, because she's a bit of a nerd
Mhm,
when it comes to seeds and plants and
mhm.
garden and yard and all that stuff. How do you select the seeds used because you want the best results possible? I imagine. Hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we have local planting partners on the ground, and as I said, we work with mixed cropping, uh, mixed cropping species. So depending really on the type of tree, what the need of the local farmer is, we will create some natural fencing for one farmer, plant trees around his land, not to interfere with the crop he's actually growing. And we will, for other farmers, we will plant on his ground, in the middle of the ground, to create um, mainly create shade, but also to increase um, the balance, the fertility, or the balance of fertility in the ground, which comes naturally from earthworms around the roots, the biodiversity in general in the trees or the bushes, leaves falling onto the ground and becoming part of a natural fertilizing circle. So it really does depend from crop to crop. But a lot of things we've seen a lot of success with planting shade trees on the land, which will have a very positive effect on livestock, cattle, less who will then be exposed to less heat stress, which in turn results in higher yield in milk production, etc. So it really does depend on the crop. Um, you know, yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. So we eat and you grow. That's
that's how it is. Yeah,
that's how it
that's the
is.
name of the game. That's the name of the game. Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. What is it? What is your background? Just for the people that are not aware of
Okay.
you on the podcast or on the live,
Right. Okay.
like a little bit about
Um,
yourself.
yeah. Okay, no problem, no problem. I haven't really gone to any fancy through any fancy schooling system. I don't have a higher education at all, and I think that probably has been one of the main factors or drivers for me as an entrepreneur, because it's forced me to think outside the box and also given me the ability to think outside the box. I think that the subject is filled with controversy, but today's educational system is built on a foundation from the 60s and the world we had back then. So educating kids today in that frame just doesn't work, in my opinion. So we need more kids, young people that dare think outside the box and dare becoming first movers and shakers of industry. And so I think. I think, yeah, that's extremely important. So nothing flashy from here at all. I mean, I think my main driver probably is to initially was to show young entrepreneurs sitting at home right now with potentially a good idea, showing them that it is possible to create a successful business with sustainability at its core, calculating that in from the beginning. Um, but then again, that leads to another question of what is success, right? I mean, success is in the eye of the beholder. For me, success is certainly not a measure of monetary ROI. For me, success is waking up in the morning, working for a great goal and a common good, without romanticizing it too much, of course, but doing what we love. Don't get me wrong, this is not EatCo2 is not an NGO. We are a for-profit company, but the crucial difference I feel is that we are a company on a mission, you know, and that makes the difference. So monetary ROI comes secondary. It's not really of interest. We need to make sure that our business continuously run and that the engines are greased, of course, otherwise we can't continue. But our ROI, sorry, is measured on just different level.
Do you mean
You know,
ROI, like a return of investment?
yeah. Return on investment. Yeah, sorry.
It's
Return on
okay.
investment. I'm a father myself, and again, I don't want to romanticize it, too much, but I'm a father, and it does make you think a little bit about, tomorrow and the day after, and down the line, grandchildren, their children, etc., and what we leave behind, So I think that we all need to wake up a little bit and stop snoozing on this subject, and stop just thinking it's a great idea, but actually take action, start moving towards the goal, So yeah, that's really where we come from, As I said, my goal, you don't need PhDs and fancy documents to do the right thing. Is really the message, But you have to take the first step. It can be scary, and the majority of people out there sitting at home, probably thinking, this is a scary new big world. How do I take the first step? The message is just do it. There's nothing worse than sitting back down years from now, regretting what you never did. Take the first step. You only live once, and do it right. That's how we do things at EatCo2, and that's what we hope we can inspire others to do as well.
Very nice. What is the where can people find you, and where do you want them to go?
Right. Okay. Good. The name of the company is EatCo2. You can find us on our website .com or .dk. Of course, follow us on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook. Smoke signals, high fives, whatever works. We are. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, please follow us, like us. We're trying to create a community here, filled with people that think the way we do, and we hope to get a good level of support that way.
Beautiful. Anything you want to add to all of this?
No, I think I've pretty much put my heart and soul on the table in this interview. Explained how it is. We don't mince words here. We say things the way they are, and we're good people trying to do the right thing. And if we take that as the foundation, well, we can't go wrong, really. So so that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I follow your heart. It's funny how when you have children, or from what I experienced anyway, I was already passionate about nonprofit and supporting and charities and stuff like that. Whenever you start thinking about your children and like their future, things really do change. Like vision adjusts more to like the long-term thing, and it's a wonderful thing, really. And anyway, sorry, now I'm getting romanticized and emotionally involved. I like to go there, bro. I like to go there.
Of course.
Big time. Don't make me cry. I will cry. Yeah. In the chat. Okay, please put the link into the chat. Yes. So if you're seeing this live on Facebook, YouTube, I will be putting the links in the description. And if you're hearing this on podcast, you shall be seeing the links in the show notes, as they call them, that I learned the other day. All right. Don't have any more questions. So for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Thomas from EatCo2.com.
Thank you very much for having me. It was always a pleasure. You know that.
Thank you, man. Always good to be in touch. Stick around for a second, and I'll speak to you after the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining Coffee with Tea. Next week, 17th, we shall be joined by one of the most admirable people that I've met. While I was in Liberia, I got to know my friend Q Carmew, who's a survivor of the civil war in Liberia, and he will be telling us the story and what missions and projects he's working on. That's next week, the 17th of February. 17th of February? Yes. Same time, same place. Your boy, Tommy Boy, and Thomas. Have a wonderful one. Cheers.